Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
When you watch TV, do you ever think about how many acts of violence you see? Studies have shown that by the time a child reaches the age of 12, he or she has witnessed over 8,000 murders on television. So has TV violence gotten out of hand? Does violence on TV cause violence in real life? What do you think?
Well, they make the movies like the bad guy. You're glad he's dead or something and you want to kill him or something like that.
Yes, I think it influences little kids very much because when they watch violence on TVs, then they start getting like wanting to fight everybody and starting to do everything they see on TV, so it influences them a lot.
On television, it's not like they're telling you to do it. You do it if you want to do it.
In a way, I think that TV violence does influence kids because if they watch it, you know, they're going to be like, oh, you know, those kids or people do it, why can't I do it? They still don't know what is made up and what is in the real world.
One thing is for sure, TV violence is everywhere. You can watch a cartoon showing characters getting flattened against trees or squashed under rocks, while on another channel there might be real-life police stories of shootings and arrests.
Some studies say that there is a connection between the violence on TV and the violence in people's lives. They also say that TV is not just a reflection of what's happening in society, but that it helps create violence.
I think it is reflecting what's going on, but I think it's also influencing what's going on out on the street. I think it's a major cause of some of the violence.
Others believe it's the people and the places which surround you that make the difference.
It's like what's going on your block that influences you as you grow up. What's going on in your house? What's going on around the corner? What's going on at your cousin's house? And not what's going on that box.
The real question is, do the kids think violence on TV is harming them? And if it isn't, what's so entertaining about it?
It makes the shows more interesting because if they're not doing anything, if they're just talking, I feel like you can get bored and change this channel.
The little kids think that it's funny when somebody gets hit or somebody gets, like when Roadrunner like falls off the cliff or something like that.
As for the news, it is also full of violence. And why almost always do they put violent stories on first?
What I don't like about the news is every time I look at the news, there's a teen getting killed.
We talked to 2 local TV reporters to see how they react to violence on the news.
I've seen a lot of dead people, and it haunts me. It's not something that you forget. If you ever see someone dying, if you ever see someone breathe their last breath, it is not something that you forget.
Do you think a violent news story would influence this kid the same way a violent program would?
I hope not. I'd hope that they'd realize this really happened. This was a real tragedy. This isn't the figment of someone's imagination. This is someone, a 14-year-old girl, getting shot because she happened to be walking down the street in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I hope that when they watch news, that doesn't make them want to see what it's like to hold a gun.
It's unlikely that there will be a legal limit on TV violence. People say that a law curbing TV violence will violate the right of free speech.
TV violence may not be influential to most people, but in my own opinion, I think it has gotten worse over the years. The message that TV violence tries to send children is to solve their problems by violence, and that's not the way to solve them. For Rosa Canuto, this is Gina Suarez reporting for SSN.